Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another edition of Pause and Pray. This past weekend I was blessed once again to spend a lot of quality time with some of the grandkids, and it started on Friday afternoon when I picked up my 2-year-old grandson Grayson Jack, who I affectionately call Jackaroo, from daycare, and took him to his first appointment at the hairstylist where he did great for his haircut. He slept in the car, and when we got back home here at the church, it was a hot, humid summer afternoon, and Jackaroo wanted to just play outside. He loves to play outside. So we went here into the church courtyard, and I thought since it was such a hot, humid afternoon, and he did so well at the hairstylist, we should celebrate that. So I went inside and I grabbed 2 flavor ice popsicles to enjoy with him here in the churchyard. You know, those popsicles that are that liquid juice that's frozen in these plastic sleeves. So the two of us sat down, crisscross applesauce, and dove into our popsicles on Friday afternoon. Now, because it was so hot, I finished my popsicle in about 90 seconds. Jackaroo, on the other hand, took a lot longer. It took about 15 minutes for him to finish his popsicle. He was so methodical and deliberate with each and every nibble at the deliciousness of his popsicle. And even though halfway through most of it had turned to slush and juice, every sip was just as enjoyable as the first one was for him. After about 3 minutes, I began to become a grown-up again and think about all the things that I could do in the courtyard here while he was enjoying his popsicle. I could fill the bird feeders and clean the bird bath out and water the tomato plant. And I started to get up to tend to those things when something brought me back down to earth, back down to crisscross applesauce. And I was filled with this desire to just want to enjoy Jackaroo, enjoy my little goo-goots, enjoying a popsicle, no matter how long it took. And in all honesty, it was 15 minutes or so of holy simplicity for me, sitting there with Jackaroo, watching him enjoy his popsicle. It was the best practice of mindfulness I've had in a long while, and I really had nothing to do with it. Today the church celebrates the feast of St. Clare of Assisi, a real gift to the church, in her call to us to bring our lives back to a sense of holy and divine simplicity. She was born in 1194 and died in 1253. And Clare and the sisters that followed her embodied that divine simplicity in how they lived and worked. They went barefoot. They slept on the ground. They owned no possessions, and many of them observed silence as much as they could. And yet in all of that simplicity, Clare found this profundity of life and meaning and joy, whether that was in serving the sick or waiting on tables or washing the feet of begging nuns, or even in the holy gift of friendship, the simplicity of friendship, and especially the friendship she fostered with Francis of Assisi, who so often gets so much more attention than Clare. But today, the church lifts up Clare and celebrates the gift she was and continues to be to the church, celebrates all of those gifts we encounter in our lives, of God working to call our lives back to a deeper sense of holy simplicity. And sometimes that happens by simply savoring the gift of holy friendship that we have with others. Or maybe savoring the gift of 15 minutes with a 2-year-old savoring a popsicle. Maybe it's taking off our shoes and socks and really feeling the earth beneath our feet and recognizing how connected we all are to something so much bigger than ourselves. Or maybe it's practicing a little bit more silence in this loud and chaotic world. And we celebrate, because in all of that we come to discover that it's only in the gift of divine simplicity that we find ourselves encountering the profundity of God's presence in each and every one of our lives. God's peace and blessings to you all.